Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Live Ones. It is Wednesday, March 16th, 2022. It is a crazy time in sports. Not only the beginning of March Madness, but a free agency frenzy in football and baseball. Just a rundown of the news from today. In football, Julio Jones was released by the Titans. Man, oh man, when that signing was made, people were penciling them in for the Super Bowl. Just after all those wasted years in Atlanta, his body just can't hold up to the strain of being a wide receiver anymore. All it is. I half expect the Jets to pick him up on a 2-year deal. Seems like the type of thing they'd do. Rams cornerback Darius Williams is joining the Jaguars as the latest of their free agent bonanza. Hey, when you come into the year with $100 million in cap space, it's the sort of thing that you can do. Teddy Bridgewater is going to be the Dolphins' new quarterback, getting pretty much the veteran minimum on a 1-year deal worth about $6 million. Pure insurance for Tua, who's now dealing with his third offensive coordinator in as many years. Vikings signing linebacker Jordan Hicks, who sucked ass when he was with the Eagles, but then balled out like crazy after moving to the Cardinals. It's a good deal for them. In baseball, the big signing today was Red Sox left fielder Kyle Schwarber signing with the Phillies. A huge, much-needed upgrade for them in left field after the departure of Andrew McCutchen. Almost takes the stink off the fact that they re-signed the single dumbest player of the last decade in Odubel Herrera back for a 1-year stopgap deal to cover up the fact that they literally haven't successfully drafted and developed a center fielder from their farm system since Richie Ashburn, despite many bites at the apple. The Athletics are continuing their fire sale as they try to intentionally blow their team up on the way out to Las Vegas, sending Matt Chapman to Toronto for a package of prospects. Toronto, a great team that's now gotten even better. The Athletics, just another poverty franchise, treating their organization as a glorified farm system for bigger market teams. Really hope that changes whenever they finally decide to make their move out of the festering dung heap that is the city of Oakland. We've got the last two of the first 4 games to go tonight for March Madness, 4 hockey games and a full slate of NBA to go over. Let's get right to it, and we're going to start off in college hoops with Rutgers and Notre Dame. Despite having a double bye, Rutgers was a one-and-done to the eventual Big Ten champion Iowa Hawkeyes. Notre Dame went 22-10 overall in the season and 15-5 in conference, but as we've gone over many times on this show this year, the ACC was the absolute drizzling shits this season outside of Duke. Notre Dame also was a one-and-done to the eventual champion, Virginia Tech. For me, Notre Dame really is a non-factor on their own in this matchup. Everything's going to boil down to what Rutgers is able to do. They've lived and died all year with their tough physical defense, but it hasn't been a defense that can shut down everyone. They had a meat grinder of a schedule in February, having to play multiple games against some of the biggest offensive powerhouses in the country, like Iowa, Purdue, and Wisconsin. Those teams all showed that the key to beating Rutgers is having more offense than they can bottle up. As the Scarlet Knights' offense is rather underwhelming, and I think they'd be the first ones to admit it. Does Notre Dame have more offense than Rutgers can bottle up? Short answer is no. Notre Dame beat up on trash teams all year long. They were 17-1 against quad 3 and 4 teams, but 2-8 when they went up against quad 1s. Against Kentucky, they got held to 62 points. Against Indiana, they got held to 56 points. And against Duke, 43. Duke's defense isn't even that dominating, 85th in the country. The Irish couldn't even put up 45 points against it. I think Rutgers has more than enough to just smother these guys on defense. They're incredibly efficient on that side of the ball. Frankly, I think with the schedule that Notre Dame played, who they beat and who they lost to, their record really isn't that impressive. I'm taking Rutgers on the money line at the pick'em price tonight. Over to the world of hockey, and we've got a marquee matchup tonight with the Bruins and the Wild, two of the NHL's best teams on paper, but two who have been in decidedly different form in the recent weeks. Bruins are winners of 8 out of their last 10, led by timely scoring from that top line of David Pastrnak, Brad Marchand, and Patrice Bergeron. They're not a juggernaut on offense, but they don't have to be because their defense is, as usual, one of the best in hockey, allowing only 2.6 goals a game. The Wild have been on a skid, losing 7 out of their last 10 to drop themselves right down from the 3rd seed in the West to the 6th. Their problem's mainly been on defense. They're giving up a ton of shots on goal, and their penalty kill has just been atrocious, particularly recently. The Bruins have the edge in every single aspect of the game apart from offense. I know the game's in Minnesota tonight, but just everything about recent form has me leaning Boston outright tonight, and you're getting a great even money price for them tonight at -110. Give me the Bruins on the money line. Over to the NBA, and the game nobody wants to watch tonight, the Knicks and the Trailblazers. Man, I know the Blazers are a dumpster fire lately. I know they went through a really bad skid where they lost 5 games out of 6 by over 30 points. But this line of 12.5 points is just insane. You are not seriously asking me to make the freaking Knicks at 28-40, 12th seed in the East, 5.5 games out of a play-in spot, to be 12.5-point favorites against anyone. The Blazers are through the worst part of their skid. They were 7-point dogs against the Wizards over the weekend, and they won outright. They were just 14-point dogs to the Hawks and managed to cover. This line is just stupid. It has recency bias. Even with all the injury problems the Blazers have, there's just no way in hell I trust the Knicks with their 27th ranked offense and a defense that's averaged 123 points a game given up in their last 10 to be 12.5-point favorites against any team in the NBA right now. Give me the Blazers as the big road dogs, plus 12.5 points. And finally, the actual game everybody wants to watch tonight, the Celtics and the Warriors. Since the All-Star break, both of these teams have been playing at an absolute snail's pace. The Warriors 21st in the NBA and the Celtics 26th. They've been winning games by being incredibly efficient on both sides of the ball. They've had great shot selection, but really particularly efficient on defense. Golden State ranks second in overall defensive efficiency and the Celtics third, both averaging about 1.06 points given up per possession. So when you look at the fact that both of these teams, with their pace, are averaging about 96, 97 possessions a game, I mean, both teams have solid answers for one another defensively. I think this game is incredibly hard-fought and close tonight. I can't wait to just sit back and watch it as a fan. But don't be surprised if one or both teams struggle to crack 100 points tonight. So I'm taking the under of 221.5 tonight. I feel like that's a good, solid lock, the way that both of these teams have been playing lately. That's going to do it for me for tonight. Everyone bet safe, stay safe. Follow us on Twitter at Live One Sports. Check us out on Roku and Fire TV at the Live Ones. Have yourselves a great Wednesday night. Enjoy the start of March Madness tomorrow. We will see you next time.